From 4 News Now, with live updates throughout the day, breaking news as it happens, and weather every 10 minutes. This is KXLY Plus.
Good morning. For 4 News Now, I'm Rob King. We have an exciting live stream right now as we're going to go live to 4 News Now Sports Director Julian Mininsohn at WSU Football Camp. Fall Camp kicking off. Julian, how are things so far?
Well, Rob, good to see you. Yeah, Fall Camp just wrapped up not too long ago. We just heard from some of the guys, head coach Jake Dicker, quarterback Cameron Ward. And there was a lot of energy at practice today. This is probably as quiet as the facility will be this entire fall. I think the overall excitement is just that football is back on the Palouse, and they're getting ready to start the season in about a month, September. So September 2nd to be exact.
Is it a question of who WSU might be playing in what conference this year? What is the latest going on with the Pac-12?
Well, as we know, 5-6 days ago, Colorado announced its intention to leave the Pac-12 to join the Big 12. That will be after this season. So this season will be Colorado's last season in the Pac-12. Over a year ago, USC and UCLA announced the same thing. They are going to the Big 10 after this season. So this may be the last time we see the Pac-12 at full capacity for a minute, at least with the schools that a lot of us on the West Coast grew up watching. So no USC, no UCLA, no Colorado after this year. That's going to be the interesting thing. And then also the domino effect of that is the TV media rights deal that's still looming for the Pac-12. According to numerous reports, the Pac-12 presented a new TV deal proposal, which included primarily streaming through Apple. And that is, as we're doing streaming now, it seems to be the way that things are going in the media world. So no decision or agreement has been made on that, but that was the reported deal, which is through Apple. It's the first time we've heard about it. The Pac-12 has been on the search for a new media rights partner over the past year, and it's becoming increasingly difficult for them to find a media partner because of the lack thereof a USC or UCLA and now a Colorado. Those are two big markets in Los Angeles and the Denver market that the Pac-12 will not have as a part of a TV rights deal to negotiate anymore, so they lose a bunch of leverage with that. So that's what's made things so hard, but at least there's a sliver of hope on the horizon that maybe they can get something done, because if they don't by this time next year, the Pac-12 could cease to exist.
So does that mean WSU might play some easier teams in the schedule, but does it ultimately hurt them because of the money rights?
Well, they have their schedule set for this year, and a lot of times these schedules are set years and years in advance. But when it comes to the future of where they stand, if the Pac-12 disbands, they would have to find another conference to latch on to. A lot of talk has been, where would a school like WSU go? And a lot of that conversation has been maybe something like the Mountain West Conference, which includes teams like San Diego State, UNLV, teams like that. Or if more teams start dipping out of the Pac-12, maybe the Pac-12, in order to save their life a little bit, they would go poach schools like a San Diego State, which has wanted to get an invite from a Power 5 conference to make up for the schools that have already left, like USC, UCLA, and Colorado. So a lot of it is in flux, but it's the changing world of college sports right now, and it's all about that bottom dollar.
Is there a timeline as to when this whole thing will be settled?
Well, the hope is that at least the TV media rights deal will get solved here, hopefully in the near future, with the proposal, with Apple and primarily a streaming service. The hope is that gets figured out very soon, and then the Pac-12 could then ultimately go after some more schools. The commissioner of the Pac-12, George Kliavkoff, has said that the primary focus right now is the TV media rights deal, and then they would go to the potential of expanding a new conference. So that's the TV deal is first, and then going to poach other schools from other conferences comes second.
Got it. Well, Julian, that's the business side of this live stream. Let's get into some of the more fun stuff. How has camp been? Are they letting you get looks? You still hoping for that scholarship?
No. Unfortunately, I was never a football player, and my dream of being a Division I basketball player died when I saw how tall you actually have to be. So I'd like to talk about sports instead. That's why I'm in the line of work that I am. But yeah, so far practice It was lively day one, so everything is not going to be perfect. The guys are still kind of getting in shape. They have a new strength and conditioning coach this year, so they followed his program in the off season. So they're trying to reap those benefits when it comes to this early part of fall camp. Something they're going to be doing different this year is night practices. They're going to have night practices at fall camp, which is usually it's been all in the day, but they're going to have a few night ones because of how poorly they played in night games last year. Just 1 win and 3 losses in night games last year for Washington State. So those are something that's going to be different. Another thing that's different is they have a new offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator. So 2 new guys that are going to be shaping and scheming the entire offense and entire defense. And head coach Jake Dickert said after practice today that you have to change in order to keep everyone on their toes and keep things guessing so they don't have enough film on you. So things are going to look different from both sides of the ball perspective. So fans are going to get a whole different look at Washington State football. So that was a lot of the big takeaways that came out of day one here at Cougars Camp.
Got it. So no real standout players yet?
Well, some of the standout players are some of the guys that we kind of at least have harped on over the last few years. Ron Stone Jr., Brennan Jackson, those are 2 defensive guys that are coming into their 6th year of eligibility. That's something that the COVID year had brought as well, that you can get an extra year as well. So 6th year of eligibility for those guys. They're kind of like the unofficial leaders and coaches on the field. And of course, the big question for a lot of WSU fans, I think, is how is quarterback Cameron Ward going to look? He transferred in last year. Last year was his first year, kind of got his feet wet. The big criticism with the team last season was that they didn't move the ball north and south enough rather than going east and west. And so far what we saw from the new offense and him under center for a second full year, you kind of got some deeper throws downfield. He looks bigger and stronger than he was a year ago before. So a lot of that's going to help in the overall offense and scheme of this team and scoring points, which is ultimately what you need to win ball games,
Absolutely. Well, Julian, we look forward to more coverage from you, again, live in Pullman. We appreciate your time. Anything else you want to wrap up with?
No, I mean, Cougars Camp we'll have coverage pretty much from every day from Cougars Camp here, leading up to the season opener in early September while they're on the road against Colorado State. And then, of course, the first home game for Washington State. I want to remind people that it's going to be on our channel on KXLY. It's the first home game, September 9th, against Wisconsin, a Power 5 team that doesn't happen every day here in Pullman, where a team of that caliber comes here. So that's something to watch out for. But yeah, football is here, and it's alive and well, and I'm excited.
Awesome. Julian, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
And be sure to follow Julian on social media so you can get the latest and inside look at the fall camp. Thank you for joining as well and watching this KXLY Plus stream. Be sure to download KXLY Plus on your connected TVs. That's Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. Also be sure to download the 4 News Now mobile app, now new and improved. We have updated our app. It's looking a lot better. It's running a lot smoother, and we're loving it here, and you will too. Thank you for watching, and be sure to tune in to our newscast, 4 News Now at 5 and 6. But for now, live in studio, I'm Rob King for KXLY Plus.